spouse, you love the entire person. You don't love his body or her body alone and separate between the body and the mind and the soul and the spirit and all that. No, you can't. Because human life is one entity, one unit. So we need, and that actually adds more pleasure to your intimate life when you focus on the person as a whole. Role of fatigue. Fatigue is an enemy to intimacy. So please try to get some rest before you make love to each other. Be restful, take a shower, and be ready and be fresh. Role of stress and grief and depression. Of course, these are temporary times that we may feel. Role of frustration, anger. No, don't be angry at each other and go and make love. Please, make peace. Don't let sunset and you are still frustrated at each other. Be sure to reconcile before you go to sleep and make love. Okay? Ladies may keep the memory of hurt for a longer time. Gentlemen may say, oh, I forgive her. I forgot everything. No, you need to apologize. And you need to make peace and be sure that she already can move on before you make love. Very important. Role of boredom. Boredom is like rust. You fight it all the time. That's why we say always make some good days every now and then. Try to go out for a weekend together every now and then. Try to renew your honeymoon every year. That would be great, even for a short time. Role of exercise and general health. Take care of your health. Vitamins, vitamin D, antioxidants, omega-3, all that stuff. Good sleep, exercising. These are all good things for your sexuality and intimacy. When you have children, please, I was involved in a big problem yesterday over the phone because children are distracting the wife and the mother, of course, from her husband. And the husband complains. Okay? That's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. Never let your children distract you from each other or make you forget each other. Okay. Another factor, now we get into the spiritual factors or religious factors. Now let us see the spirituality here and impact. Because I say there is no shame here. Please, sex is not the original sin, okay? It's not the original sin. That's why we always think that sex is bad, period, regardless. No, that's not right. Guilt, judging and labeling each other. If one or the other has more sexual needs, the other party would never judge him or her for that, okay? We all are different, as we said earlier, but still our sexual needs may differ. Some other religious concepts, we'll come into that soon. Question, what the Bible, or how does the Bible view intimacy and our sexual behaviors in marriage? Very important. We have 7 critical biblical principles here. To the pure, all things are pure. Second, the marriage bed is undefiled, is clean, pure. Submit to one another. Render due affection to each other. Have no authority over your own body. Do not deprive one another except, and the last one is for a time and come together again. Let us see the actual verses here. All things are pure, but to the pure only. If your heart is pure, if your mind is pure, then everything you see as pure, including your sexuality and your intimacy in marriage. So we need to see our intimacy in marriage as something pure because we are pure. We have been purified by the Holy Spirit, by the blood of Christ. And that's why we see such things as pure. Even if we keep them for ourselves behind locked doors, that's fine, that's good. But inside my master bedroom, everything is pure to me. Number two, the undefiled marriage bed. And it's very clear here. It says marriage is honorable among all, should be honored. And the bed undefiled. Undefiled means clean. Okay. Number three, submission in love. Submitting to one another in the fear of God. We all submit to each other. Husband, submit to your wife. Wife, submit to your husband. And that's a rule. And you know the word submit? That means here. Number four, fulfill each other's needs. You know, let the husband render to his wife the affection due her. And likewise also the husband or the wife to her husband. You remember you asked Abuna Gaurius, what's the affection? Here is the affection. Wives need emotions, need feelings, need love. You know? That's why wives are very sensitive when their husband comes to say to her, I love you so much. Or you are so beautiful. I admire you. You are the only one in my life. When you say that to your wife, this is about affection. She needs to hear, and that's how she can activate her sexual appetite. Sexual appetite with ladies cannot be activated all of a sudden. Gentlemen are very quick in becoming aroused and very sensitive in this regard. But for ladies, they are slow. That's why here in this verse 7:3, it started with the husband to render to his wife the due affection. But the following verse, you see the difference here. No authority. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body. You know, it started here with the asking the wife now. Because the Bible knows, the Holy Spirit knows that a husband needs the body of the wife, and the wife cannot say no. You have no authority over your body, wife. You let your husband be gratified through you. Okay, very important. For wives, it starts with affection. For husband, it starts with the body. Okay? No authority over her body. 7:4, the following verse. Do not deprive. That's a rule number 6. No one has the right to deprive the other party, except do not deprive one another except with what? Consent. What does this mean? I am weak and I need to make love. And my other party, my spouse, is strong and say, no, we don't have to make love right now. We can wait. That's not right. When I am weak and I need to make love, my other spouse would say, okay, even if he or she is the stronger party, because the stronger party should submit to the weaker party in marriage. Okay? You know that? This is that's how we play it here in marriage according to the Bible. Okay, very important here. But if we consent, say, okay, we are going to fast, or we are going to have communion tomorrow, that's fine. We agree about that. Let us wait for. And some people may ask me, what about fasting and communions. I said, well, yeah, I mean, how many times you go for communion every week? Usually more than once. And how many days you fast or something? And if it is a long fasting, yeah, fathers of confession usually allow this to happen in the first year or few years to take care of each other's need. Then gradually you start to develop a better or a more spiritual approach during fasting by abstinence. But there is nothing wrong if I need to make love during fasting, nothing wrong with that. Okay, it's not a sin. Never go and confess about something like this, say, because I made love to my husband, my wife during the Holy Week or the Holy, it's not a sin. Okay, please remember that. It's not a sin. Don't let the devil deceive you and mislead you. This is your marriage, sanctified and blessed by God Himself. Okay, for a time. And it says here also, do not deprive one another except with consent for a time, that you may give yourselves to fasting and prayer. That's what we said. And come together again. Very important. Don't let the devil tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Okay, very important here that you come together again. You should get close to each other as much as you can, because this keeps the marriage healthy and keeps the devil away from you. You don't get tempted if you make love, and this making love process has the element of spiritual and physical and emotional intimacy. It's beautiful here. Any comment here? Okay. Come together again so that Satan does not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Final notes. Okay, I need to be fast a little bit, 5 to 6. Important questions. Love versus lust. Love redeems lust. The conflict always is desire minus love. If you take away love from your desire, then it's lust. But the solution is desire plus love in holy matrimony equal function, marriage and pleasure. Beautiful. So the tip, invest in love, not in lust. And that's probably will address the other questions Abuna mentioned earlier. Healthy sexuality in marriage. Healthy education, Christian resources. Understand yourself and your needs. Understand your others or other spouse's needs too. Be sensitive. You have to be sensitive. Don't allow your spouse to beg you for intimacy. That's humiliating. Please. Communicate. Healthy attitudes. Tolerate differences and needs. Okay? Bear with each other's limitations. Yeah. Look beautiful and attractive. Overcome shyness, please. Okay? Personal hygiene, showering. Your mouth should be clean. Okay? Showering, because some ladies complain, my husband doesn't shower unless I beg him for that every other week, you know. Or he complains and he says she smells, you know, something. That's bad. Number 10, no boredom. Celebrate anniversary vacations, renewing your honeymoons. And remember, do not violate God's laws of healthy sexual behaviors and self-control. Well, it's written, documented in the Bible. There are things that are documented, like anal sex, or we call it sodomy sometimes. No, and no, and no, very unhealthy. And when we started to think of sodomy or anal sex, it means that I started to cross a very high boundary, to violate that high. You know why? Because the regular or the normal gratification of vaginal intercourse is not giving me pleasure again. I get into that stuff all the time. By the way, many marital conflicts everywhere. And the guy would say, I mean, I can't get pleasure from that. Please, that's probably because you need to stop other stuff like pornography and frequent masturbation, that stuff, Try to focus on each other's body. Get the pleasure from each other's body. You got married to a beautiful wife and a very, very handsome husband, and you are in love with each other. So enjoy that blessing. Instead of looking outside for images and movies and videos and stuff like that, that's dangerous, as we heard earlier. Avoid perversions and other compulsive sexual behaviors. You will never feel gratified when you use them. Those worldly sexual tricks, you will always ask for more. I just was giving a presentation 2 weeks ago in Florida about purity of marriage, and I told them stories and stories about cases when the husband and wife decided to watch porn, to learn from porn, and they ended up with a disaster. The husband has become a sex addict and then had an affair and divorced, and his wife divorced him. Then the wife, she got depressed, and then she committed suicide, and they left behind 3 children. Very sad stories all the time. I've been doing that job for 30 plus years now. But I tell you, nothing works like following God's rules and regulations. So, and also flee sex addiction, because sex addiction is bottomless. There is no bottom. When you hit the bottom, it's too late already. How porn hurts my marriage? First thing, I want to ask me to talk quickly about that. Porn and addiction cycle. Porn can start the addiction cycle. You know the addiction cycle? Have you ever heard? Just quickly, addiction cycle is about pleasure experience, okay? Then stress, then addictive behavior, and pleasure again, then tolerance, okay? And this will let you consume more and more of the same stuff. What started with 1 cigarette ends up with 3 packs a day. What starts with watching 1 time pornography every week, it ends up with 6, 7, 8 times a day, etc., etc. Addiction cycle. The second problem is objectifying intimacy. I am making of the other like an object, because I'm trying to look at the screen, and then I'm trying to imagine or make the person in front of me like an image or a picture of that person I'm watching in the screen. That's called objectifying. And of course, usually it's the wife who hates that, because she feels less beautiful, less attractive, so the husband needs to look into other stuff to get stimulated. That's what is not good. Number 3, tolerance. Of course, as I mentioned, we need more and more of the same stuff. Then we end up with sexual dysfunction, premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, etc., etc. Common questions. Who initiates making love? Anyone? How do I respond if I am not ready for it? Try to be ready all the time, please. And anything like asking too much, there is nothing called asking too much here. As long as you both agree about something, don't try to push somebody to do something beyond their capacity or their willingness. We talk about oral sex and stuff like that. I'm not going through that now. I say, please respect God's rules. Sex should be, or should always end after this all foreplaying and arousal stuff. We always should end by regular sexual vaginal intercourse. In some exceptions, we may touch each other, things like that, that's fine. But we do things out of agreement, approval together, okay? Nothing.
How do we know the rules? Is it written in a...
No rules. It's you make the rules, both of you. It's nobody's business.
But you said God's rules.
The God's rules, as I said, God's rules are very clear about something, which is following the norms of God, which is sexual intercourse, vaginal intercourse, no anal intercourse. These are the major rules I see in the Bible. But other than that, it can be between you and your future wife. How do I deal with loss of interest? What's behind that? Depression, something, you know? You need probably to figure out or seek some professional help. Any restrictions, limitations? We said that the restriction limitation should be by consent and mutual consent and for some time. How can I overcome shyness? Yeah, if you listen to that very well, you will get rid of shyness. Shyness and guilt is not accepted.
Can we drink? Can we drink? I'm joking.
No, it's, I mean, the Bible is clear about everything, you know. Things are good, things are bad, things cannot, anything that may make me lose my control or become obsessed with, or something that would destroy my life, my health, okay? But the details, we don't go get into details because you are an adult and you know the Bible well, okay? Who can answer my question? It should be somebody that knowledgeable, trustworthy, and can keep the confidentiality. So be careful because there are no many people like that today. Okay. Finally, address concerns gently but directly. Avoid curious intruders or outsiders. As I said, it's nobody's business. Okay. Number 3, think rationally and think spiritually. Very important. Think with your mind, think spiritually when it comes to your sexuality. And then always remember that love never fails. Okay, thank you so much. Congratulations and happy marital life. Thank you. Don't forget this book. This is a good book for our sexuality. I think Abuna عنده book. You have this book, Abu? Very good, one of them. Okay, wishing you happiness, and if you have my phone number, call me. Abuna has the phone number. Thank you.
And then I'm preparing for you an envelope containing all the lectures that you have, and also a book about premarital retreat. And after this, you are going to come again and say, I want to know your comments. You want to change. You want to be better year by year. That's why I want to know your comments. This will help. Dr. Nabil Sullivan, he was going to give something about privacy. He unfortunately left. And also, because you are tired now, I was going to give you the marital problems, how to solve it and how to avoid it. But many people, they are tired. We can make it once again in a meeting, small meeting afterwards. Please, I want to write your name and your phone number. لا استنى ناكل مع بعض. بص اكل جاي دلوقتي.